Hello there, my beautiful sinner. How are you doing this fateful day? This video is going to be a tad bit different than normal, because I'm complaining for 10 minutes straight, with the help of Kotek, my lovely man. Today I want to talk about Valorant's economy, and how they value their guns, because it's not good, it's wrong. It's morally ambiguous. In short, it's unfair to you and to me, the average consumer. Take it away, Kotek.
I think they are excessively expensive for what they are,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
and they have no right to be that expensive because at most it's just a GIF on a pre-existing gun skin.
Yeah.
And at worst it's a JPEG on a pre-existing gun skin. And when they do change the actual model and polygons of the thing,
Mm-hmm.
then it's not good. For example, the dragon ones.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. It's a dragon. Great. But the thing is, it's $24 for a single skin.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And quite honestly, that's a lot.
It is a lot of
That's
money.
an excessive amount
Mm-hmm.
that you do not need.
Mm-hmm. And looking at the daggers I have for sale for me right now in my shop, I have the Reaver, which by itself is, let's see here. You can see right now that it is $35 for a skin that doesn't. The Reaver skin has this add-on, these little effects. It does the little purple, which is kind of cool. It's a cool effect. I don't know if it's worth $35. And secondarily, I also have the Spline Dagger for sale right now, which doesn't have any effects, and it is the same price. This dagger that looks like that disgusting couch. I don't know if you've seen that picture of the couch that just looks like a ball of yarn.
I think I've seen that one.
Yeah, that's what Spline looks like. And so this dagger doesn't have any effects. It doesn't add anything to it. And you're still spending $35 for it. There's no different animations. The only difference is that it looks different. They changed the model, and it's kind of cool, but that's it. There's nothing else to it. This is not worth $35, no matter how you look at it. This spent a guy like an afternoon to make.
I would say maybe a day.
Maybe a day.
It's a decent model.
I'll give him a day. And that also has to do with, the concept art. And while I'm, saying this, I do art. I know it takes a long time, and I know it's difficult. And I'm not saying the artist did anything wrong here. The artist did a great job. This is a beautiful dagger. It is. I would use it. I would buy it if it wasn't $35. It's a good skin. Valorant makes good skins, in my opinion. Like the Ruination collection, I purchased it, and it was $80. And the worst part is, so Valorant does this thing. So if I were to go to buy some right now, to buy a $80 pack, I have to purchase the $50, and then I have to purchase the $35. Right?
Yeah.
Did I do that right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And then you have enough. And then, so what they're trying to get you to do is just spend the $100 to buy it. They purposely are pricing it so that it's not going to, that you have to, it's not going to be an even number that comes out. You're not just clicking once to buy something. That's why they do this system of the $5, $10, $20, $35. And it's a system that's been around forever. It's not Valorant that does that necessarily. It's not necessarily a bad thing. And games do this all the time. But it's sad because on League of Legends, they sell $10 skins, and you only have to spend $10 for it. All their skins fall under one of those categories. Like there's the $5 skins that are really cheap and kind of shitty, but they're skins. And then there's the $10 skins, which are pretty nice. Change some of the animations. And then there's the $20 skins, which change, backs. They change everything, all the dances and shit. then they have the 30. They have what, $25 skin is their next.
$25 skins, yeah.
So
There's five of those.
that's
And
the only one that you have to do $20 and then $5 to buy, right?
yeah.
Which isn't
Now,
terrible.
and even with all of that, you have to think of like what is like a skin equivalent to. Because like
Yeah.
what they're telling me is that a $40, like let's take $24. I have the Dragon Judge in my shop. $24. What can that get me? Well, a lot actually. It can get me Hades.
Yeah.
A much better game that I will get a lot more use out of than just this tiny little judge. They're telling me that one skin is worth an entire game, and I'm willing to say, okay, fine, whatever. For League of Legends, I just ignore it. But in Valorant, it doesn't make sense because it's just this tiny little thing.
Yeah.
And
because you brought up the point earlier, I remember, where you said that you're not going to be using the skin for the entire match because it's just like one gun out of many.
Yeah, it's one gun out of it doesn't, and you're not, and like especially with operator skins, you're not going to be able to afford an operator, and you're not going to be able to use it a lot, honestly. So like, how do?
Yeah.
And on top of that, they're telling me that almost all of their skins are more valuable than Terraria. That's what they are telling me. I can also buy Minecraft. I can buy dozens of other. I can buy many games.
Well, that's the other thing, because like I bought the Ruination package this morning, and so did you. And that's $80 down the drain. $80 is a deluxe edition of, say, Deathloop, which is coming out later in the year. There's a lot of games that you can buy that are AAA that are worth a lot of money, and you can look at this of us talking about this as kind of like we're annoyed that we spent $80 on a skin set, but it just made us realize just how much they have us spend on so little. Like, looking at my collection, I have a skin for everything except for the Odin. And, because I never fucking finish battle passes because I'm a prick. But, like, I've spent a lot of money on this game. I have. And I regret it a lot of the time. But I do love the game. I do. And I want to support the people that make it. But I don't want to support this business practice. And I think Ruination's probably going to be the last skin bundle I buy. If anything, I'll be buying maybe store stuff. I'm not going to end up... I'm not going to buy full skin sets after this one. Because $80 is insane.
Yeah, this was the first time, and probably the last, that I'll ever buy a bundle.
Yeah.
And it was the second time that I've purchased a skin. The other being a just under $10 JPEG.
Yeah. Yeah. And the other thing that you brought up earlier was the fact that, like, CSGO has a similar idea where you spend a lot of money on, like, one skin. But the difference there would be that
it has value.
Yeah.
You kind of get what you pay for, because like there's only 5 of this skin, only 100 of this skin. That makes it more valuable
and rare.
And I get that, but what these people want, and what Riot Games wants to do, is they want to have this sort of model where it's like, oh yeah, we have that, we want that too, we want that sort of cash flow, but they aren't willing to commit to that sort of big community
economy
based thing. Where it's like an economy, and it's just buy and sell and buy and sell. All they want is just the money for themselves, because if it's buying and selling, then that's not as much money going to them.
They're really just kind of like taking as much money as they can get from you, and that I'm gonna use that as my swivel into the upgrades for guns. the upgrading for guns is a system that I personally like a lot. Um, I think it's cool. I like the variants, but my issue with it is that it's happening on top of something you already spent $80 for. Like, I have the whole Ruination package, and I'm not using it for my Phantom right now because I don't have Radianite. And I don't want to spend another, 20, 40, $30 to upgrade my entire set of skins I already spent $80 on. It's
Yeah.
so frustrating.
The raw expense of Radianite is stupid because they're just giving it away for free and saying, "Oh, look how generous we are in the battle pass." And then it's $20 essentially for, 20, which is 2 upgrades.
Yeah. And
One,
not
if you're getting
that,
a
yeah.
color variant,
Yep.
which the color variants are more than the basic upgrades, which doesn't make sense
Yeah,
to
no, it
me
doesn't.
because you're just recoloring it.
Yeah.
That's all it is. You're you're taking the paint tool, you're taking the paint bucket tool, and then you're putting, oh, this color is this color now, and boom, done.
And even
Finished.
and even worse is the fact that in order to get the variant, you have to upgrade the whole gun, right?
Yeah. To get the
Which
different colors, you need to go through, count it out real quick. 1, 2, 3 separate upgrades, which is, if we were to take that, about
$30.
$30.
$30.
To upgrade to get the full skin,
You're
which
lagging
is
out.
already, $25. So right now we have 25 plus 30, and it's $55 for fully upgraded skin without variants. Then you put all the variants, and that's another 45 Radiant, and then
You're lagging.
that's
real bad.
um
You are a robot.
anyway, am I good now?
Yeah. Okay, there we go.
Okay, so yeah, if you just upgrade all the VFX without the color variants, that's, and you assume it's a $25 skin, that's, $55 for one skin. And if you add the Radianite points, and all the variants, then that's another like $30.
Yeah.
More, even if you wanna, like, it's
because they're valuing when you buy an $80 pack. The reason it's $80 is not because of the base skin set, is because you can upgrade it. And what's gross about the fact that upgrading bumps up the price is the fact that you're already technically spending money to upgrade a gun that you already bought, which is gross.
Yeah, the upgradable skins are just more expensive, and that doesn't make sense. Why? Then it's like twice as expensive.
And I understand that.
Easy.
I would understand if they were skins that you like worked to upgrade. Even if like you bought the base and it was the same price as it is now, I would be more okay with it if I was able to earn the upgrades without spending more money. Because if you don't have the battle pass, you're going to be getting a fraction of the amount of Radianite you would need to upgrade an entire collection.
Yeah. For example, I had 200 Radianite stocked up, which according to them is about a little over $200. No, 100. A little over 100. 120. So about 100. We'll say 120. $120 does not get me everything in that $80 pack.
Yeah.
So I've essentially, if I were to buy all that Radianite, which I didn't, I got it for free from the battle passes. It would have been, $200 for skins, and I don't even have all of the upgrades.
Yeah.
One of the skins isn't even upgraded, like, all the way to the point of getting variants.
Yeah.
I don't have none of the skins that I got have all of the variants, and I had to say, oh yeah, I have to ration it out for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 skins. 200 for, like, that's a lot.
For skins that you already bought, no less. like as much as I love, because I believe, is this the first Dagger skin that has variants?
No,
Is it
there are
not?
others,
There are
and
others.
they're and
Yeah.
it's honestly terrible because, I mean, like, I was excited. Oh, I'd get all the variants and I'd get all the stuff because I have 200 Radianite.
Hmm. Yeah.
Um,
Because that should be enough.
that should be enough because that's $120 worth
Hmm.
of Varianite in
Hmm.
their minds.
Yep.
So I should be able to get my money's worth and maybe
Yeah.
even have a little bit left over just for funsies.
Uh-huh.
But I don't. It's just only I don't have all of the variants for any of them. None of them.
Hmm.
It's really annoying because I want
Yeah.
to have all the things for a gun skin,
That
and
you already paid for.
without Radianite points, the base skin, all it is just a different it's a basic skin for just a different color and different
Yeah.
model.
Hmm.
That's all it is. There's no visual effects. There's no sound. There's no.
Hmm. Yeah. There's nothing different about it. It acts like every normal gun. So you spend $80 for a base skin. And you have to buy the battle pass to really start upgrading these. So it encourages you to spend that extra $10 after spending already $80 to earn the the uh, the Radianite in order to upgrade the skins that you already paid for. Or you can buy the Radianite for an upped up price. So really what it is it's trying to force you into buying that battle pass so that you play more. And then the more you play, the more Radianite you earn so you can upgrade your shit that you already spent money on. And I'm all for a system that uh, has you work to earn upgrades for your guns and shit. Because that's cool. You get to show it off. But when it's done in a malicious way and a way it doesn't feel like I'm earning it, if that makes sense. Because
Yeah, it
I already
feels
spent
like
money on it. It feels like I deserved it. So really I'm just getting the rest of what I paid for. It
yeah,
doesn't feel like I worked really hard to get this new thing.
yeah. It's just, and I mean, like, and I wouldn't say any of their skins are like worth the price because it's all just the general same shape.
Yeah. Yeah.
They just like made it slightly different. They didn't even bother to change a lot of the just how it works.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Occasionally, like say like for example the dragon skins. Those do something sort of creative with the
The,
uh general stuff. It's
where they like
it's a
crawl on
dragon
your
and it
arm and stuff. Yeah.
yeah, it's a lot of good animation. But then everything else is just, oh yeah, you can just like this is it's normal.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like you can go and 3D print these and you would have the equivalent
Mm-hmm.
of what it is in the game.
But then you'd have it physically.
Yeah, but then you have it. And then there's the prism, which I hate because it's just like great. It's a different color.
It's a gradient, yeah. Yeah, they're valuing a gradient at, let's see here. This is
A lot.
$10, I think. Yeah, it's $10 because I have the Prism 2 shorty in my for a gun that you're only going to use in the first like 3 rounds. It's valuing this gradient at, and it's a nice gradient. It's pretty, but it's not worth $10. I'm not going to spend $10 on this. That is a waste of my money. It's a waste of your money. Like nobody should have to pay that much. It's not okay. It's not. They are requiring a premium for these skins. And while the argument that will be made is, well, you don't have to buy them. You can just ignore them. Yes, you
That's
can.
such a big part of the game, and they know what they're doing because
Yeah.
people want to be, people want to have cool skins.
Yeah.
That's just like that's part of a lot of different games, like cosmetics,
Yeah.
character customization, you know,
And that's not
the look of this.
necessarily their fault. I will give them that. But
It's not their fault. Yeah, it's
the
true. But they
issue,
know it.
yeah, they know what
They're
they're
not
doing.
helping.
Hmm.
They're not
Hmm.
helping.
And it's, yeah, and they're making you pay a premium for something that they probably, because from what I've heard, Riot doesn't treat a lot of their workers very well. I don't know if that's true or not, but that's just what I've heard and some things
I've
I've
also
read.
heard that. I don't think they do.
Which is pretty common with big companies. So on top of that, I feel like I'm supporting something I shouldn't be. And that makes it harder, I feel like, to buy these skins. Because the money's not going to the artist anymore. They already
No,
got the money for it. It's going into the pockets of the people that are doing the harm to this genre of gaming. And it's sad, and it hurts me. It's a shame. It's a shame.
Yeah, it's.
I really hope that there's a day when this is dead, this business practice, but I know it's just going to get worse.
It'll never die.
No,
If
it
it
won't.
keeps making money, then it'll continue to live.
Forever and ever.
If it stops making money, then it dies.
Yeah, but it
That's why
won't.
That's why GTA 5 is still alive, because people still
Yeah,
buy money for it.
and they still
People still buy
upgrade
the
it.
game.
Yeah.
Yeah, people still buy, Nintendo consoles. People still buy consoles just in general.
Yeah. Yeah. So this will probably go on forever, but I feel like it's something that needs to be talked about as a community. We need to start, I don't know, fighting for being treated correctly. Because we're not being treated correctly.
Yeah, and I get that they have a lot of people that are working on it.
And that's expensive. And that costs a
And
lot of money.
It's expensive, and it's there's a lot of money that goes into that.
Yeah.
But that's why you sell things for lower, because if you sell things for lower, more people will say, "Huh, that's a fair price. I will go buy that."
Mm-hmm.
And while you have your obsessive, like in gacha games, you have very few people who spend lots of money on the game obsessively, and you get those people, and then you cater towards them. You don't cater towards your average
player. Yeah.
John Johnson on the street playing it on the subway on his way to work.
Yeah.
You're not catering towards him. You're catering towards the people who will spend money.
Mm-hmm.
And
So
that's the thing with Valorant skins.
Yeah, I agree completely. It's not catered towards your casual player whatsoever. And it's just a gross business practice, and we need to. It sounds so silly to say, but we kind of need to stand up for ourselves in the sense we're not being treated right.
Yeah, in a sense, yeah.
It's not some big thing we need to do. I'm not saying that we're oppressed. I'm just saying that this is not right.
Yeah, it's not right, but I honestly don't think that they're going to change.
I don't think so either.
That's the thing.
Unless something seriously big happens.
Yeah, unless...
If they start losing money.
Yeah, because, the thing is, when, Blizzard reprimanded the Hearthstone player for saying he supported Hong Kong, revoking his prize money for that.
Yeah. And banning him permanently.
And banning him permanently, yeah, to that too. He... not everyone was like, oh yeah, we need to stop playing Blizzard games. Because that... Because, they're fun, they're games.
Yeah.
It's a hobby.
Yeah.
People aren't going to stop painting because paint is expensive and overpriced, which it is.
Yeah. That's another conversation.
Separate, very similar to this one, but separate conversation.
Yeah, because that's the other thing. Is while this is happening in Valorant, this is happening in a lot of places, in a lot of situations. This isn't just in the virtual world, while it is very prominent, it's still happening in the physical world with lots of things. I'm trying to think of an example, but my brain is buffering. Like
But
collectibles. Don't get me
like
started.
I mean, I'm a person who likes to collect things.
Same here.
Just general stuff.
Like
Little trinkets.
I buy lots of pop figures. I love pop figures.
Those are fun. Those are great.
But they're like
And
$10. Granted, it costs them like maybe a cent to make, but it's $10. That's a decent price for a collectible figure. But I went to a GameStop once, and I saw this really cool Cade 6 little statue. And so I bought that, and it was $60. And as I was leaving, I opened it to look at it because, I was super excited. And it was made of the cheapest plastic in the world. Like, it was so cheap. It felt like thinner than Legos. Like, it was bad.
Legos are a whole separate beast.
That's a different situation, yeah. Because
And
those are way overpriced now.
I can kind of respect it because it's Legos. It's a name brand. People will pay it whatever it is. And it's, they're nice plastic. And it takes, effort to emulate whatever.
And they put a lot of heart and soul into it. It's true. Yeah, they put a lot of work. But there's still a lot of cash grabbing when it comes to Legos. As much as I like Lego.
Oh, yeah.
There's still a lot of... We have Star Wars sets that we're remaking and pretty much selling the same set for like triple or double the price, which is a whole nother conversation. But like when I bought that Cade 6 statue, I took it back because I was really frustrated about it, and I got a refund because I didn't want to spend $60 on something I could have gotten 6 pop figures for. That's not worth it.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
But yeah, it's
yeah.
And like it's a business world.
It is. Yeah.
We're
in a world of business, in a world of money, and it's not about creativity anymore. It's about what creativity can get you, and that's sad to me, because I like creating things a lot, and I haven't made money really with any of my stuff I've created, and that's fine. I don't really care. It was fun to make, and I enjoyed it, and that's what matters. But the world keeps saying that that's not what matters, and that's what's a shame. Thank you very, very much for watching this video. You guys are beautiful and gorgeous, especially if you made it to the end of this. I know there's a lot of stuff I've said and a lot of stuff Kotek has said that you can easily argue against, but these are just kind of our feelings, our opinions on a situation. I know we kind of like made it seem pretty dramatic, and it's not necessarily as dramatic as it sounds, but it's a shame, and it is sad that the business practices like this. I agree with the things I said in this. I agree with the things Kotek said in this, but feel free to argue with us. This is a conversation. If you want to come down in the comments and say some shit, please do. I will comment back, and not in like an attacking manner. I mean, like, let's have a conversation about this, because this is important. And I mean, I know I'm making it sound like it's like the most important thing right now. It's not. There are more important things happening. But this is a conversation to kind of have. Thank you for watching. You're a gorgeous person, and I hope you have a lovely day. Don't die, my beautiful sinner.